All right, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. How does it look and how does it sound? Well, listen, I know it looks like shit, but how does it sound? Hopefully, 26. Five by five. All right, thank you. All right, let's get on with it. So, obviously, a lot of you guys knew what happened last night or yesterday. Sorry, yesterday morning. I guess new developments today. They have a new suspect. His name is Frank James. He is considered a suspect. Yesterday, he was considered a person of interest. So now he moved up to the suspect list, being that they looked at all of his social media accounts. They looked at the, I guess, evidence he left behind, which was a bag of fireworks. And so they're sorting after him right now, and he still hasn't been caught. Now, this guy, when you look at him, I'm like, no fucking way. But it is what it is. What it is. So they're telling us, rather. Sorry. And supposedly now he's a bigot and he's a racist and he's a gun lover. So look at this direction they're going in with this. I'm just throwing it out there, guys, because it's going to be an interesting argument, at least here in New York City. The rest of America is not going to give a shit about this incident, and New Yorkers are going to start becoming scared and looking for more ways to control gun ownership. Keep in mind, gun ownership in New York City right now is probably the toughest in America. So they're going to make it worse, I guess. I don't know. So now there was also I guess a strap hanger, if you will, which are people who ride the train, that was sitting next to Frank James when he set off the smoke bomb. So he set the smoke bomb off first, and then he put his mask on, which was, I guess, I don't know. But anybody donning a gas mask is, yeah. Mama 22, I don't think it's race war related. I think they're just trying to paint him as a racist. But unclear as to what was said. Again, the media is telling us this, but they're not telling us exactly what he said. So I'll take that shit with a grain of salt. Stray Kitten, he left behind a credit card at the scene, which is weird, right? A lot of people saying false flag. I wouldn't call it false flag. I would definitely call it something to better interest the argument of guns, but I wouldn't call it a false flag. This guy looks like he was too much on his own. Anyway, so again, guys, now New Yorkers are running around, not running around, but a lot of New Yorkers, not all, are running around saying how scared they are and they think that this is going to happen again. And now everybody's looking to the mayor, and now people are saying that the mayor cannot handle New York City. Which, listen, De Blasio couldn't handle it either. This is why it fell apart. But yeah, it's interesting that it's interesting that Adams becomes mayor and the city gets worse, and people are saying, well, don't blame him. He's only been in office for a couple of weeks. Hey, Mark, man, thank you for thank you for coming out there, and it was nice to meet you too, man. Appreciate it. That was a good time out there in Prepper Nurses One gathering. So again, guys, here in New York City, uh, you know, last night, 3 people were shot dead, 12 people were wounded in a shootout, if I'm not mistaken, throughout the city, Brooklyn and the Bronx. So now you had 3 people shot, and this is a separate incident. This has nothing to do with the subway incident yesterday morning. This was last night, and it seems like people are saying you can't get away from being shot anywhere in the city because it's all on the table. When you used to live in the city, here back in the days, guys, the crime generally stuck to the bad neighborhoods, if you will. So the crime was stuck here in Harlem, Washington Heights, Brooklyn, which was I think Bed Stuy, Crown Heights, and I forgot what projects out there. Queens had a very small neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken, Queens Bridge, and then Bronx had multiple areas in the Bronx. South Bronx specifically was one of the bad areas, and with that, guys, crime normally stuck to those areas. But now, with the failed mayor, de Blasio, and then Eric Adams coming in and making shit worse, right? Now crime is everywhere in the city. There's not a spot in the city where you're not you're not going to get shot. You can get shot anywhere in the city now. Plus, to boot, you have the psych patients running around, throwing shit at people and fucking hitting people in the head with hammers. So it's all up for grabs, meaning the entire city, guys, is now blanketed with criminals, whether they're psych patients or legitimate criminals. So, again, calling this a false flag, I don't look at it as such because New York City is falling apart and we're going to see people doing crazier shit like this. We had a guy a couple of years ago, 42nd Street, run over people with his car, right? We had a guy a couple of years ago try to, blow up a train station, but he wound up blowing himself up. So, again, guys, the crime is actually falling apart. The city's falling apart due to crime. Southern Belle says, I'm supposed to visit fam in New York, rethinking that. Well, Southern Belle, I would just keep my head on a swivel. That's all. I wouldn't not come to New York City to visit family. I just keep your head on a swivel and wear a bulletproof vest. There you go. And if you want, get a Kevlar helmet while you're at it. Because it seems like it's getting that bad. Now, I still walk the streets carefree, only because I know what I'm looking for. There are a lot of people who are not. And if you come to the city, you just got to pay attention. It's that simple. Stay off your phone. Scan the area everywhere you walk. Don't be married to your phone. And people who legitimately go like this as they're walking, which is strange to me, but people do it. So they're not paying attention to their surroundings. Now, other than that, guys, there was a lot that went on last week. I just sort of didn't write any of it down because I was focused on this thing yesterday, just to see where this was going. Again, I'm not completely invested in what happened in Brooklyn just because it was a shitty incident, but I'm like, again, the psych patients here in the city, man, they're running amok. Alan, liberals will never wake up. You know what liberals will do? Liberals, the cat with the hat. Yes, bulletproof vests are illegal here in New York City, but fuck them. Who gives a shit? They're letting criminals run amok. At this point, wearing a bulletproof vest and shooting back at somebody is probably the only way you're going to save your life or others. But liberals, Alan, will never wake up. They what they're going to do is they're going to move. They're going to leave New York City and go, man, that place is fucked up. Those people that they fucked that shit up. And then they're going to come to whatever new town or new city and implement their liberal rules there and fuck that up. Liberals are absent-minded. They're morons. They're stupid. They're the idiots of the world. They do not think that they are the problem, right? So in their arrogance, if you will, they'll sit there and go, man, that mayor, he couldn't control that city. And then they'll forget that they were the reason why this should happen. Why would that be illegal? Sarah Johnson, it was illegal because criminals, or rather drug dealers back in the 80s and 90s, were wearing bulletproof vests to get into gunfights with cops. Not so much the drug dealers themselves, the actual soldiers, if you will. And I hate to call them that. But soldiers were guys who were lookouts, runners, guys who were protect the block, if you will. And those guys would wear bulletproof vests. And so the intention was to either get into a gunfight with a cop so that, and then they don't get shot, or to get in a gunfight with a rivaling gang and survive the shooting. So anytime a drug dealer was caught with a bulletproof vest or a soldier was caught with a bulletproof vest, they would throw the book at them because their intentions were to harm others or some crazy shit like that, whatever. So now because of the those guys wore bulletproof vests, now we Civilians can't wear them because it's illegal. But again, guys, I would take that. I would take that charge in a heartbeat. I would absolutely get caught with a bulletproof vest and be fine with it because I'm wearing a bulletproof vest because bullets are flying in the city. So they're gonna throw you in jail for protecting yourselves. It would look stupid in the end, especially if it hits the newspaper. They will look at like morons. After that, up to Old Mud, exactly right. They're moving upstate and trying to implement their shit up there, trying to implement their shit in the schools up there. LOL, I'm a liberal. I have a soft plate in my bag. Okay. Kitty Cat Karen says, I'm a liberal. I have a soft plate in my bag. All right. Holy shit. And so also, yeah, what was it? Switching gears. Last week, I think a kid fell out of a six-story window. The kid hit the grass, and it's said to have survived, but I haven't followed. There had been no follow-up stories as to uh, how the kid is doing this week. But last week, a kid did fall out of a window. The mother wasn't paying attention, like as per usual, and the kid made his way through a hole in the air conditioners. So I know a lot of you guys might not have air conditioners in your homes because a lot of you guys have central AC. But if you have an AC, you know that accordion part to the air conditioner. The kid pushed that out and wound up climbing out of the window and falling 6 stories down. Again, hit the ground, and I think the ground was pretty soft. That's why the kid was able to survive. Plus, kids are also more pliable. At that age, they can survive. They're more likely to survive that than an adult. Not saying that as a whole, but they're more likely to survive that. Technically, is what the conservative legislation in New York State. That part, Kitty Cat Karen, I don't know what that means. I survived. I survived in Brooklyn. All right, she lives in Brooklyn. There you go. So, again, guys, all of this shit coming down the pipe. Eric Adams looking like possibly the worst mayor in New York City history, and yes, he's only been in office for 4 months now. January, April, May. Wait, sorry. Yeah, 4 months. He's been in office 4 months, and the city is crumbling every day. It seems to be getting worse. So, is he to blame? I don't know. No. Yes, he is. Because he's trying to have a balancing act that is not working. Clearly, it isn't. When you are protecting criminals more or giving criminals more leeway and going softer on them by the way you approach them, it's insane, guys. I can't I can't believe it. What's going on, Nate? I can't believe the amount of tiptoeing politicians are doing with criminals. Yeah, nice catch, Sarah. I said the same thing. I was like, April, what the fuck did I just say? But anyway, yeah. So it is 4 months. But also, guys, let's talk about this. Let's see if this article comes up. But there is a looming food shortage that is slow moving. That is a slow moving disaster around the world, right? So that was an article I saw in the Post, and now if the Post is reporting this, you know shit's gonna get out of hand pretty soon. Pretty soon. And slow moving means, guys, slow moving is, I guess, for those people who are not paying attention, right? The rest of us are paying attention, and it does seem slow moving because there are. It's a domino effect that we are actually watching. We're looking at this and going, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Now chickens are getting sick, and they're gonna have to dispatch millions of chickens. So that's going to be low chicken products throughout America. And then sooner or later, we probably won't see much chickens on the shelves, and only restaurants and maybe the elite will be able to get chicken firsthand. But we are undoubtedly seeing food shortages that are going to probably get heavier later this year. Hence, it moving slowly. Nice one, William. He says Karen didn't pick out a name. Go easy on her. So, with that, guys, we're definitely going to see some harder times later this year. I think we're going to start seeing the ugliness of it probably the middle of this year. But later this year, I think around the holiday season, and when people are going to really start realizing what the fuck is going on. All right, so Bossiest Warrior says, if you see this, Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, and some Chinese politicians are talking about locking us down this fall really hard because of the bird flu. Now, thank you, Bossiest Warrior, for bringing that up. Right now, guys, the bird flu is spreading amongst chickens, fowls, turkeys, things of that nature. There has been a couple of bird to human infections. There hasn't been human to human. Now, I suspect later this year that there's going to be human to human contact. And that's when shit's going to get ugly. Because supposedly this in humans has a 50% mortality rate. Supposedly. Interestingly enough, guys, the talk of this, they already have the cure for it. All right? So just keep that in the back of your head. They already have something for this. I think it's just for the birds right now. They want to start giving it to chickens and, again, turkeys, ducks, and things of that nature, though I haven't heard any infections in ducks. They want to start giving it to the bird population, if you will, or rather birds that we eat, birds that are on the market. If they start giving this, guys, to birds, like Purdue starts giving this to birds, Tyson starts giving this to birds, that means we can no longer eat any birds from Purdue or oh my God, Tyson or any other chicken manufacturing plant. We have to stay away from that because we don't know what the effects are going to be on us, even though they are giving it to the birds. With that, guys, that is something that you have to stay aware of, because I don't trust this shot all of a sudden being available that quick, and now they're talking about giving it to birds. And if it starts translating over to humans, guys, then what the fuck? Jackie, no, but they have it, and they were talking about giving it to the chickens, but they haven't actually distributed it yet. But they talked about how they have it already. Moving too fast with these injections is all I'm gonna say. So again, keep abreast of what's going on, guys, with the bird flu, with the shot for the bird flu, and human to human transmission. I suspect we'll start seeing that later this year, if not next year. We will see human to human transmissions, and then all bets are off. Because if the mortality rate is what they say it is, and that's 50%, keep in mind what 1% did, or less than 1% did to this population, or to the psychological or mental state of people here in the United States, or the world rather, sorry. If the original pandemic had a less than 1% to 1% mortality rate, what do you think 50% is going to do? So it is something to definitely keep your eye on, guys. Kick it. Fucking people. Always call at the wrong time. Anyway, guys, we have been on, let's see, about another 10 minutes and I'm going to go off the air. Kitty Cat Karen, yes, you're definitely going to have to look at local farmers. That's for fucking sure. Local farmers are probably going to be the way to go. And that's that. A lot of us, guys, will stay away from Purdue, Tyson. I know a lot of us stay away from it now, but a lot of those other chicken manufacturing plants, you're definitely going to have to stay away from if they start giving us the birds. Again, just keep it in the back of your head. I'm not saying it's happening. I can see this happening. That's all I'm saying. It's something to stay abreast. But if they are talking about listen, guys, they're already talking about putting the commie covers, if you will, over our face again. And that's here in New York. They're starting to talk. That talk is starting to come back up again. So if that talk is starting to come back up again, There are a lot of things, guys, before July, or rather after July, and this is, I don't know why I'm thinking July, but that's stuck in my head. After July or August, after those 2 months, things are going to change exponentially fast. And I think that with the commie covers coming back, they're also going to start boosting the new edition or a version of the shots. They're going to start boosting that again. That's going to start coming up. And then we're probably going to go into full lockdown. Now, there's a difference between locking us down and locking China down. Those two places, I know they locked down China, or Shanghai rather, and those people are docile idiots. So they have what's coming to them. But if you try to lock down cities like New York, you're going to feel a pushback like you've never felt before. Therefore, there's definitely going to be a fight, and there is a fight coming. That's a feeling I have. That bad feeling that we were talking about a couple months ago, it's definitely a fight that's coming this way, and we have to be ready for whatever fucking fight is coming this way. Yes, Forrest, I saw that Philadelphia's already starting their shit. That's why I said it's coming back to this in this direction as well. We're definitely going to see the commie covers come back. So, guys, anyway, with that, a lot of shit is going to get fucking very interesting in the next few months. And again, the writing's on the wall. We're all looking at it, right? Is Charles. Southern Bell, is Charles walking with his graduation class? Are you talking about my son? Uh, Southern Bell teacher? Because we don't know yet. If you're referring to my son, we don't know. We're not sure what's going to happen. He might do a Zoom. He might have to Zoom his graduation, which is, I'd rather him not even do that. I mean, whatever. But I guess he's got to. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know that he won't be going. That's for sure. But as far as zooming it, I mean, what are they gonna do? Put a computer with his face on it, zoomed in, and put it in the seat? Like, I don't know how that's gonna work. It's just dumb, you know. Um, but if we gotta celebrate it, we'll celebrate it some different way. I don't know. Now, Julie says we'll be on lockdown because of this stuff progressing with Russia. Well, yeah. We also have China to worry about as well. China's making some suspicious moves. They're flying in weapons, supposedly, to Serbia. So we definitely have to keep a close eye on that. Guys, they are gearing up for some shit. And meanwhile, again, those of us who can multitask, we're paying attention to what's going on. But those who are distracted easily and call things like the Brooklyn incident a distraction, it's not a distraction unless you're easily distracted. That's how I look at it, right? I don't look at much as a distraction anymore, guys, because the rest of the world are easily distracted just through their phones, right? So your phone is your distraction. But if you can multitask with your brain, you could look at different things and go, all right, this is happening, that is happening, and that's it. And then you just you dial it in. You go, all right, this is more important to focus on than this is. That's all we do. But to sit there and be completely distracted by something, then that's on you. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Southern Bell said, yeah, Southern Bell. He's again, he's not going to go until something changes. And we have a couple months till something changes. I think we have, 2 months now, right? So, yeah, we have 2 months. So we'll see what happens then. But right now, as it stands, he's not going, and we'll zoom his fucking head in the graduation, and then we'll take him somewhere and celebrate it that way. Fuck that school, right? Fuck that school and their bullshit. That he has to have the shot or the arm ticket to sit with his class. Being that the arm ticket is not working, it doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. Can't make sense with stupid people. That's how you look at it. That's how I look at it. Sorry. Yes, Sarita, exactly. It's we have to pay attention to all the bullshit that's going on around the world, because again, they'll try to distract us with the more or try to sensationalize something to make it more I guess attractive, and then drown it out on TV. Like yesterday, all day, they had the Brooklyn thing happen, and it was just all day on the TVs here, at least here in New York. But New York One was doing a good job in going back and forth with different things happening. And then if you actually go on your computer and search shit out, you'll find out the rest of the shit that's going on. To boot, I also have a lot of you guys that send me emails with links to other things that are happening, which is greatly appreciated, because a lot of this stuff I can't research on my own. So not that I can't, it's just a lot of shit to research. So it does help when people send me articles and I'm like, oh shit, look at that, that's happening. Oh man, thank you for sending me that. So it does help. With me also doing the research, that also helps greatly. Someone, Jeff Golf says they have 25 million people in China locked down. That's Shanghai, to be exact. I'm sure they will try it here. Difference between us and is two-way. Exactly, Jeff. Is why they're probably going to go super hard after the two-way this year. I mean, they're gonna pull out all the stops. I think, just a feeling I have, and we're gonna see more of these, mass shootings around the country, and some of them are gonna be convenient, and some of them are going to be, I guess, how do you say, maturing candidate style, right? I mean, we're going to see an accelerated issues happen this year, I think. But again, we have to wait and see how that turns out. Also, to end on not a lighter note, but to end off the subject, Skydiver miraculously survives a fall out of a plane because of parachute malfunction. It was a chick, if I'm not mistaken. She was falling out of the sky at 125 miles an hour. That probably means her chute partially opened, but didn't open all the way, and that slowed her descent. And she fell 13,000 feet. So imagine that, guys. Imagine falling out of the fucking sky, and your parachute malfunctions. I mean, the only thing you could do is fucking kiss your ass goodbye, And in her case, she kissed her ass goodbye, and she survived. She probably hit the ground. She probably hit the soil or something, and that also contributed to her surviving. But I thought that was very interesting. One of those miracle things that happened, and again, she got lucky. Now, the bigger question is she going to get in that plane again and jump out? That's the bigger question. I would assume if she wants to get back on that horse, if you will, she's going to jump out of the plane again. But some people who do survive events like that, they normally don't. But we'll see. I was talking about I wanted to skydive later this year, but I got to drop, I think, another 20 pounds to do so, because they say that's like the ultimate, like free, liberating experience. So I do want to do it. I've always wanted to do it. I always wanted to jump out of a plane since Point Break. Since watching that movie, I always wanted to jump out of a plane. So I figured I'm a little older now and more wary of pain, but I think I still want to get, jump out of a plane. So do you hear what's... Corey Lynn, I started watching that Watch the Water documentary. I have to actually finish it today, or rather right after this. I'm gonna completely watch it and finish it. But if it's going in the direction I think it's going in, yeah, it's something I've been talking about for a while. Craigslist, yes, the wingsuit is apparently, according to skydivers, the wingsuit is only for professionals. And yes, there have been guys who have used the wingsuit and have smashed into the ground. So with that, guys, they keep saying how you have to have a lot of experiences jumping out of a plane, and then using a wingsuit is for professionals because there's a lot of things that can go wrong or go along with it. And there are guys who use swingsuits and they fucking, what is that called? They skim the ground. I know there's another term they use, but it's where they come into the ground and they're probably, it looks like they're, feet above the ground, but they're probably like 100 foot or so. But the way they come in, they're just like skimming the ground, and they go along, and then they go back up in the air. It's an interesting, you watch the videos, just look it up on YouTube. Look up wingsuits on YouTube. You'll see some of the shit they do. It's crazy. And then you'll see some guys, like, they go along mountainsides as they're skimming the mountain. And when they do the mountains, they look like they're probably 25, 50 feet away from the mountain, which is fucking close. And they're skimming the side of the mountain. Interesting videos, to say the least. But you're like, holy shit, man. It looks like they're going to hit. And then they have some videos where people do hit. And obviously, if you hit the ground at the side of a mountain, you're dead, right? So interesting stuff though to see. You guys should definitely look that up. Anyway, other than that, guys, we're going to call it quits now. We have the half-hour mark. Thank you for joining me today. On your way out, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We're at 375. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up or hitting the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. And I'll see you guys probably Thursday or Friday. All right, guys? Also, guys, I am going to have Prepper 101 on with me in May 3rd to be exact. So I'll be interviewing Prepper 101 May 3rd. And I have, who else do I have next week? I have somebody else next week. I have Northern Girl Hobbies May 19th. And I have Angry Homesteader the 27th or the 26th. Maybe it's the 28th. The whole 28th. So April 28th, I have Angry Homesteader. And April 19th, I have Northern Girl Hobbies. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you for joining me today. Appreciate it.